Dan,
Yep.
we need to walk through. Sue has 5 minutes and Hannah has 10 minutes. The important speeches they wanted to do. We're done with our training segment, but now Sue has 5 minutes for Cali Camp. I can't even say it. Camp Cali Scadia, and then Hannah has 10 minutes for the election integrity issue. We'll move on to those segments now. Thank you, everybody, for participating in the training portion. Dan, would you lead us through these speeches?
You said it right. You said it right, Marcus. It's Camp Cali Scadia right now. We're going back and forth. It might be Camp Cali Cascadia. We're just not sure. I feel like Cali Scadia sort of rolls better off the tongue, and it's a real thing about now. There is someone who doesn't really want his name mentioned yet, as far as I know, who's involved with helping me get this, helping me to get this going. He is our connection to our Native American brothers and sisters up near Paradise. They're the Mikupta Maidu. And he corrected me recently when I sent an email out to the Cascadia group and also to a land trust that is in the area that would help us get this thing going, get some land up in that area. So that is sort of the area that we're going to have our new seat of power and no longer be under U.S. jurisdiction. Because we'll be working with our Native American brothers and sisters in order that we don't have to continue to be under U.S. jurisdiction. We will be a nation of California on that land. Yeah, mic drop. Awesome, right?
Can I ask you, Sue,
yes.
quickly, I'm sorry to interrupt, but can you quickly just give us what your project is about, like in a summary, so that people that don't know what it is,
yes,
what you
absolutely I can.
Yes,
absolutely I can. I'm sorry, I was talking about getting a piece of land that would be a home for Collexit, basically, and friends of Collexit and family of Collexit, and basically would be the beginnings of a nation of California. Is that pretty clear, Daniel?
Yeah.
Anyone have any questions on that?
And what?
Yeah, it's called California Farms.
I was going to say, what's the purpose of doing that? What is that? Because I know the purpose, but maybe somebody else doesn't.
Right. I have offered up a link to a document in our Google Conversations site, Google Groups. So if you want a little more information, that's just my vision of what this place can be as a home for California nation. And I've been working on this with a board, hang on one second, Shankar, of about 4 other people, unless you count Honorable Board Member Marcus. What was it, Shankar?
I hope David Gregory is involved.
Yes, he absolutely is involved. It was his idea in the first place. And I just sort of, in a way, I've sort of taken it over, and I'm spearheading a little bit because I'm very pushy about these things. I haven't really taken over, but I've been thinking a lot about it, and he is definitely involved, and he's probably going to be like the main farmer teacher guy, along with a couple other folks. And he'll be the teacher of primitive skills, and anybody else who wants to get involved, we totally welcome anybody else who wants to get involved and help us out on this, because it may be a little hard for me to get out for the next year or so and get a good look at the land where we might have our new home as Collexit and as a nation of California. So we would probably love some help getting an actual look at the land and seeing how appropriate it is for, does it have water? Does it have access to different things that we need? Is the land good for farming, or is it real rocky? You'll see in my notes have like greenhouses, aquaponic type greenhouses, so you don't have to plant in the land. And so do look at my my vision for what this thing could be. my connection is unstable. Do look at my vision in the Google groups. I put a link there, and feel free to make notes on that if you'd like. Okay, I'm done.
Can I expand on Sue real quick?
Yeah.
So guys, imagine. I haven't read what Sue wrote yet, but a piece of land. It's a piece of land. Now we can do anything with that land to make money off of it as well, to raise money for the movement. We can rent it out to Boy Scouts when they go camping, or maybe someone wants to have a birthday party, festivals, whatever the heck we want. We can have it there. We can even, grow our own small crop, make jams, make jellies, bottle whatever small California products we want to do. It's land. It's land. Set up a couple cabins. Maybe a retreat wants to go there for a little bit and make money that way. I'm looking at it as more money maker, Sue, for the movement, and as well as maybe a HQ sanctuary, a place to store California stuff as well. Don't get me wrong. I don't want it 100%. That's how I'm looking at it. It's sky's the limit though. So yeah, if you want to get involved. That's it.
Okay, and do you want to say anything more, Sue, about it? You're good? Okay. So, you do want to. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to reiterate that we'll probably want someone there year round as like a caretaker, and I think Matt has sort of volunteered for that. And just so nobody like trespasses on the land and violates cabins that we might set up, or sweat lodges that we'd allow Maidu to have or put on the land and have there. So just keep that in mind, that it probably will be a year-round living domicile for one of us, or more. And we can also rent it out as, what's that?
We can have the California convention there, Cal Exit convention, an actual convention, where we don't have to live in bubbles and wear masks and shit, because we all fucking know each other and whatnot, right?
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully not. Hopefully, we don't have to wear masks. You're not talking about this mask for COVID.
Yeah. I'm talking about nobody will have masks. I mean, I see COVID being here a while, guys. So, no masks.
Right.
Matt, I'll reach out to you guys a little bit. I'm currently in Wyoming. I have absolutely no idea where I'm going to land in California, but right around mid of next month, I'll be in California, probably Sacramento area. Again, I'm not really sure where to land, but as part of what I'm doing out here is that I'm getting my certification to be able to teach indigenous technologies through permaculture. So I'm very connected to like that sort of like group. Within that group, we do have a lot of woofers who are looking for like, hey, let me stay somewhere and tend the land. Let me take care of some stuff. Let me bring some of that. So we might be able to bring a little bit more manpower to like the literal land community. So I'll keep an eye. But again, I just want to let both of you guys know, I'll be reaching out to you both very soon about that. Since I'm suddenly have just grabbed the thing, I actually used to be a trainer at my old location. I can give you the ins and outs of it. I was really thrown directly in. I had no training whatsoever in the department I was in, and said, hey, you guys promised us training. We need training. And eventually the new management said, since you're so concerned about it, we're going to make you the trainer. I said, I don't know shit about this. They said, well, you've got about a month to get good. So do it, gather whatever you had, hit the floor running. So I do have a lot of insights in terms of like that. And in terms of training trainers, we were based out of Emeryville, California. They actually sent me out to Brazil, South America. They sent me out to Manila, Philippines, specifically to set up trainers for those locations. So I'll reach out to you as well. Maybe we can like kind of talk some shop a little bit and see what kind of resources we can get for you as well. Part of it is that I function very much as a hub. Like I know everybody who knows everybody. So in terms of like what each chapter needs, what each person needs, like in their lane, make your needs known. Like they were saying, like don't just struggle on it on your own. Put your needs out there and say, hey, I could really use another 10 people that just know Ruby on Rails script. And we can put feelers out there, and we can basically just try to grab as many people as we can to be like, hey, can you even put in like a few hours worth of work a week? So I'm putting that out there too. Any needs or resources, please reach out. We all need to really just be very connected and funnel resources to the people who are heading up and spearheading projects.
No, sir. It's like I have no, as I said before, I have no pride on this.
Yes,
My pride is in the success.
Yes, sir.
I intend to fully lean on you, Jason, Joe, Shankar, the whole hee-haw gang to get this done.
Right.
I have no thought that I can do this as a single person on a single lift. No. Really good with the t-shirts and the getting the stuff together thing, the organizing. I don't have any compunction to try to do this alone. Okay?
So that's awesome, Edwin. Thanks.
Hit me up.
Yep. Great. So I think the last speaker is Hannah that wanted to say something.
Well, okay. First thing, I think Matt actually said on chat he really had something to share too, but
Matt too? Okay.
Yes.
but he felt very strongly about it. But I just want to say this is more of a morale boosting piece. I hope you've heard of. Let me begin by saying, I hope you've heard of these names: John Podesta, Michael Steele, Colonel Lawrence Wilkerson, people like that, because those are the people who are involved in a little something called the Transition Integrity Group. And if you follow MSNBC and CNN and Politico and Salon and Slate and Daily Cause and any of those, they all had an article about it. Oh, it was in the Boston Globe, it was in the New York Times, it was in the Washington Post, it was in the LA Times. What happened was some very leading academics created a crisis simulation exercise. If you've ever worked in the fields of military planning or emergency preparation, emergency management, or anything in that nature, also in business, you get crisis simulations, which is basically you sit around and most people are trying to do their role, but then there always has to be a bad guy out there, or usually has to be like a bad guy, so then somebody plays the bad guy. In this case, the bad guy was the Trump campaign. And what they simulated was what would happen to if Donald Trump, within the election, between the period from November 2020 to January 2020, which is when we were supposed to have one person to take the oath of office to become president of the United States. Now, the reason why I say it's a morale booster, because one of those people I've now discovered was John Podesta, who played the Biden campaign. And in one of the scenarios, the Biden campaign endorsed California independence. Let that sink in. They did it in a scenario in which they said, we demand certain constitutional reforms to prevent Donald Trump and all this chaos to happen again. But the point was, they considered this to be a valid bargaining chip to demand.
Whoa, wait. This is from the scenario, the game, the.
Yeah, in a hypothetical. But you
and
got
that was the result, or was that the actual strategy? What
do you mean?
Like, so was secession or becoming independent or changing the Constitution, was that the ending? Was that the result, or was that a strategy to become independent?
It was a strategy that they used in order to get political leverage. It was sort of like saying, agree to this, or we will endorse the independence of California, Oregon, and Washington.
Fuck.
And I describe, again, I put a link on chat, by the way, because I produced an article that's about 2,000 words long, giving everything you should want to know about this, what's going on. My point is, it was just 3 short years I could recall people telling us we were insane.
Yeah.
Proposing California independence. Now you've got people, right, who, former chief of staff under Obama, the head of the Republican National Committee, And by the way, one of the other people involved in this campaign, this project, was the Associate Chancellor at University of California, Berkeley. So these are some of the most well-connected, influential people in the United States, and they're in a scenario where they could possibly see what we're proposing to be a viable strategy to achieve good ends.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I hope you all realize it. This should all give you a real sense of optimism, if you will. I always preface by reminding you, we do not want to see violence committed to anybody, anywhere over the election of 2020. It's just not worth it. But we can't control that. This is not in our hands. And this is maybe one of the things that will happen. And it will propel people towards the direction that we're proposing to go. So read my article if you like, but just be aware of the fact that, ground is shifting as we speak, and we will literally see events. Remind you, 2 days ago, whoever thought that, if I told you, Donald Trump, man, I'm listening to you, man, Donald Trump, man, he's going to take over the post office and stop the mail from coming in. You would have thought I was insane.
That's what I was going to ask you, Hannah. I was going to ask you, Hannah, what do you think about if someone's filed an initiative right now for a California post office to be a commission on forming a California post office? What do you think? That guy would probably get that'd be a good initiative timed out right about now. Maybe.
Well, let's just say that that's something that we're discussing. There's another one I think that I should point out. I could probably just tell you right now. I'm actually planning to start organizing around Prop 63 because Prop 63 was passed in 2016, if you didn't know, and it involves the high-capacity gun magazines. And I don't want to raise gun control, but I will point out that it was passed by 63% of the California voters, and the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals struck it down just this week because of the Second Amendment.
Yep.
So my point is that we should be always looking in the news for another little way to persuade people because remember, 9.8 million Californians voted for Prop 63, and they're seeing it go to down the drain simply because we're a state. Right, because we're under the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution. And more importantly, because I don't really want to say I'm against the Second Amendment in that totally, but because of the federal judges who interpret the Second Amendment the way so that we can't prevent, serial killers from carrying deadly weapons on our streets. Anyways, this is something I thought we could organize around. But I'm just saying there's all kinds of things going along. Just in our conversation here, we talked about drilling offshore. We talked, immigration, all kinds of stuff that where there are a lot of Californians who have a strong position, strong feelings about something, and their goals are being frustrated simply because California is a state of the union. Shanked. Is that just raising hand, like power of the people or something?
No, I want to agree with you because that ruling came from the Ninth Circuit Court. And guys, the rest of the United States, just the Ninth Circuit is a bunch of liberals.
Yeah, well, it was two Republican judges, but that's because another matter, the fact that we're two justices away from having a flipped court right now in the Ninth Circuit. Trump and one of the judges who did issue the Prop 63 case ruling was in fact a Trump appointee. Another one was a George W. Bush appointee. But the point is, they took a very, in case you're wondering, I'm going to contact the Attorney General's office on Monday, and I'm going to say, please tell me you're going to file an appeal. There's one last appeal before the U.S. Supreme Court that could be done in this case. Yeah, but nevertheless, I'm thinking this is a way we can get people to just realize that it's the Constitution. It's the fact the United States of America, that California is in the United States of America, that we have federal judges who are preventing us from living our lives under the values that we love.
Yeah, killing Californians. Serial killing Californians. These people come over here with these weapons. Yep.
That's right.
I just wanted to add, I don't know if you've read this or you guys have read this. I just read this morning. It's not particular to California, but it's particular to the scenarios that you were saying, that there were lieutenants, retired lieutenants, generals, and stuff that actually did what you said. They did a scenario of what would happen if Trump refuses to leave office, and they actually wrote to the authorities. I forget who it is that is the authority for this, but they wrote a letter to him saying that if Trump refuses to leave, that the military should be involved in removing him.
Yeah,
And
I
he
think
put
what you're
top-
talking about is an
top official.
editorial. Yeah, you're writing about a commentary that was in Defense One. It's called Defense One, and it's a defense magazine. There are many of those. Absolutely. I mean, it's getting real, as shall we say.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Dude, he's getting rid of the post office. Dude, that's constitutionally protected.
Yeah,
Dude,
but
fuck
I'm not
you. You guys are falling apart.
Well, totally. And people in Montana, of all people, organized and demonstrated. We think, is it the liberal hotbed that we call Montana? Because
Yeah.
of course,
Those
those
protests are crazy, man.
because those 700,000 people in Montana really depend on the post office. So, anyways, absolutely, and frankly, the post office issue may be gone inside of a couple of days because there's going to be hearings and we don't know what's going to go on, and that really just comes down to it. But let's just keep the faith and keep the faith, but look for opportunities, right?
They've knocked out the post office 15%. They took out 4 major sorters, mail sorters, from the post office. That's 15% down in lag. So he's dismantling the United States. Literally, he's dismantling the Constitution right in front of our eyes. This guy is doing it.
Yeah, maybe I just want to point out too that the transition, I know this kind of closes this discussion, to remind you that the Transition Integrity Project actually focused on the period not before the election November, but between November and January. And the question was basically, what could Donald Trump do to the United States of America with the power he has while he's still president? Is that clear? And remember, that's the period in which we're going to be collecting signatures. That's why I said, bravo, right, Jan, right?
Yep.
I said, September 8th is the perfect day to be starting this campaign and running it all the way to February, because that is the critical moment in which we're finding, they said, who knows what's going to go on. Read my article. Your eyes probably pop out of your heads when you're talking about Biden and Trump both claiming to be president of the United States, different states sending governors and legislatures sending different bodies, groups of electors. It could be the House Congress recognizes Biden be president, and the Senate says that Trump is president, and all kinds of other things could be happening as we speak. And of course, violence in the streets, unfortunately, between the different sides rallying. What we just saw with George Floyd rallies, just triple that. You know what I mean? So, that's all we got to say. I don't want to say that's a good thing. I never want to say that's a good thing, but we can't control it. And people are going to be looking for answers, and they may be looking at us.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
What I'm
So
gonna,
love you very much.
thank you, Hannah, for that. What I'm going to do is, was Matt
Matthew had some critical thing to raise.
Also? Yeah, Matt.
New
Let's
business.
do you, Matt, and then end the session. If you guys want to talk about other things, then we can do that.
Okay. Basically, it's a report back and a request, and they're related. The report back is from my meeting with the Alliance to Defend Immigrants. Okay, they consider themselves to be the direct action activist wing of the immigration rights movement, much as IC is of our movement. Okay, and I've really been hitting them hard, from the left wing. This is the, water I swim in, and it's been working. So what I have put, if you look at their website, they have a list of supporters, and it's like a DSA chapter, a chapter of Freedom of Socialist Org, Marx 21. That should give you a flavor. And indeed, if you read their statement, it confirms that flavor. It's beet red, and we don't mean MAGA red. Okay. Well, they're out there and they're hitting it, for the kids in the cages and all that sort of thing. And I says, okay, you got a list of supporters. I'm going to approach IC, I tell them, and ask if they would support your efforts to get the kids out of cages. And could IC be added to your list of supporters? So I told them that I would ask folks in IC if you would get behind the Alliance to Defend Immigrants and their activism on the part of immigration. And then if I can achieve that, then I can go back and say, yes, they are, they're supporting you. And actually, this isn't limited to IC, right? But IC is the direct action arm. And so I figured, I'd definitely approach IC, and I myself am involved with IC. And then if other individuals or organizations want to jump on as supporters, you're very welcome. Okay, and then we could have listed as a supporter of the Alliance to Defend Immigrants, okay, along with DSA and Freedom Socialist and Marx 21, and there's like one or two others, I think. So if I can get IC and anybody else who wants to come on board, that would be so helpful, because you know what? This is the water I swim in, and this is who I'm going to turn to first and foremost to get them to circulate our petitions. See, I'm sort of hitting them over the head with a baton rouge right now, but there's a carrot too. The carrot is you, folks, can become a socialist influence within the overall California independence movement, independent of the other four organizations. Okay, they have what they consider to be valid approaches, and we can develop what we consider to be a valid approach. But like I say, that's the carrot down the road. And right now, what I'm trying to do is swing in IC and whoever else wants to swing in behind them as supporters of the Alliance to Defend Immigrants, along with the other listed supporters.
Great.
That's what I'm at.
Matt, I suggested.
I gotta say something real quick. I'm sorry.
Hold on, I just want to follow. Matt, I'm just suggesting that you contact Shankar, not Hal. Hal's got enough on his plate, but Shankar will bring it up to the IC board. So get in contact with him on the phone and work it out together. That's what Shankar does well. So just wanted to say that. Marcus, go ahead, take it.
I'm sorry, guys, real quick. Jason was going to give a presentation today. Obviously, there was some audio issues. I'm going to follow up with Jason this week. We will get that fixed. Jason was pointing out a talking point for the initiative, which basically said the United States government signed the UN treaty. When it did that, it signed a contract. According to the Supreme Court, international treaties supersede all domestic law. Therefore, the UN treaty that America signed is the top legal document out there. If that treaty says that every nation has the right to pursue independence or whatever the right, self-autonomy, some key phrase.
Self-determination.
Yeah, okay, so if California is legally proven to be a nation from 1836 to 1846, then it is a nation. If it achieves or pursues at all, even attempts to pursue independence, under the UN treaty America signed, that qualifies as pursuing self-determination. And so therefore, the UN would have to recognize that, and America would have to be okay with California even just having a symbolic vote and asking to become independent, and America could do nothing to get in the way of that. I know what you're thinking. Yeah, they just won't listen to that treaty. Jason already thought of that. Once America does not recognize California's attempt to become independent, or stands in the way, or does anything that in any way seems like it's trying to get in the way of a peaceful vote, they will have violated the contract with the UN. That means they violated the treaty, which means they can now have their UN position removed. And if we look at the case of Sudan, who violated the UN law they had their position removed and given to the new country of South Sudan. So Jason was saying we need to look into or pursue speak about the U.S. contract that America signed, and if it violates it by standing in the way or not recognizing California's independence, then California could go to the international community and say they need to have their UN position removed, and we'll have it in their place. I will follow up with Jason with the video, get that out to you guys, and we'll talk more later about it. I need to go, so please don't ask me questions about it. Best I could do. I don't have the brain power for a discussion. I'll follow up with Jason and we'll get something out to you guys later. That's it. I'm done. Thank you, Daniel. Take us out.
Yeah, okay. Don't go away yet, Marcus. I just wanted to announce real quick for next week's meeting, actually. So far, the topic will be the chapters, how, not just the chapters, but all the materials that the basic materials that the signature gatherer are going to need, like maybe a table, a few things. The more we can get from Independent California, of course, T-shirt, stickers, that's great. But things like the cardboard, things like pens, things like that. So next week is going to be very concrete about what's the necessary minimum package for the signature gatherer, and to see if we can work with Independent California to get some more stuff, cards, things like that, to help all the people that are doing the chapters and everything like that. So we'll talk briefly on that. I'm sure we're going to talk this Wednesday with Hal about it, but we'll bring it to here because I was saying, what if right now we had the petition, we had the initiative, we don't even have the materials really set up yet for that. So I'd like to be, since we got an extra 3 weeks, gives us time to get, whoever, we'll designate people to do that. We need pens. I can get pens at Staples, or somebody else, Shankar, can get something else, but we all participate in getting this material so that we can get it out when the time comes. We don't want to be caught going, okay, we got all these gatherers, but we don't have anything to give them on that. So we're going to be talking about that. And then the last announcement, talk with Marcus, is because we're getting so close to the initiative and we don't have that much time. Marcus and I are going to come every Sunday at noon, not every 2 weeks, but every Sunday. You're all welcome to come. If you're busy, that's okay, but we'll be here to update everyone so that we keep the momentum going, so that Hal can tell us what's going on. We can go on and say, what do we need now? What's the next step? What's the next step? 2 weeks is way too long since we have 3 weeks left for the initiative. So, so you're all welcome to come. We're going to be here anyways, Marcus and I, even if it's just the two of us, but that's the new format. Until at least we get the initiative going, and then we can go back maybe to the 2 weeks. So that's the final announcement. I just want to say thank you, all you guys. This was a great event. You had like great ideas, like Hal says. I learned something all the time by brainstorming like this. We all participate in this patchwork of becoming independent. So thank you so much, guys, for your time. And hopefully we'll see you next Sunday. All right. Peace out.